Hey guys, Roman Reaper here, just back with a quick little review. So I just watched the reboot of Mortal Kombat. Obviously there was two films in the 90s, one which was that sequel that no one talks no one talks about because it was so bad, but they've rebooted it for the big screen, well small screen in my case. I watched it on the Blu-ray, but nonetheless, a new Mortal Kombat film is here. And obviously the big selling point of this one was that it would be fully gory like the games. They'd have the fatalities. To someone like me, yeah, that element going in would be really exciting. And undeniably in the film, it is. It's very entertaining. Like, the action scenes here are very fun to watch. There's some very fast, punchy choreography. Obviously, you've got actors like Joe Taslim in it, who's a very experienced martial arts actor. Like if you've seen The Raid, you know what I mean. The fatalities are done very well. The CGI is pretty good considering this cost like what, a third of what most blockbusters these days normally cost. And the effects for these arcanas, like superpowers, basically are also really good. Like there's fireballs and Kano's laser eye and Sub Zero's ice, but they don't really stick out as CGI. So they did a good job in that regard. When talking fun, there's all this world building. Obviously, you gotta make Mortal Kombat make sense in a film, because but the actual lore and world building is pretty interesting. I liked it. Even if the story surrounding it isn't so strong, but still pretty fun. And then there are some pretty good performances. I really liked the rivalry between Sub Zero and Scorpion, even if it's not on screen much. But Sub Zero does have his fair amount of screen time, and he's this really cool silent presence. And you know, it speaks very minimal dialogue and just makes him this. Makes him such a character, and of course, he absolutely sells the fight scenes. Obviously, experienced martial artist, and Kano was very funny as well. But I really enjoyed him. He had some of the best scenes and lines. It is amazing. Unfortunately, a lot of the supporting cast isn't as strong. I mean, sure, Sonya Blade and Jax do get their entertaining bits and some mildly funny lines, although it's nothing on Kano. But unfortunately, a lot of the supporting characters feel kind of they're there basically to kind of give exposition and do a cool fight scene, have their powers, and not really have much depth to them beyond that. Oh, and talking to characters, the focus of this film is Cole Young, who, of course, is an entirely new character made for the film. It kind of makes sense. Obviously, you have some character actors, an audience's eye into this world, even if it is a cliched way of doing it. But my God, Cole Young is it's such a boring lead. He's this really generic, chosen one character that we've seen countless times in films like this. And his performance is pretty bland. Lewis Tan was pretty bland. He didn't do anything particularly special. And he has this very predictable arc of learning to find his power, his arcana, which all that happens kind of at the moments you'd expect it, and the kind of as you expect it. But overall, I will say this: Mortal Kombat, as I said, is a really good, fun time. Sure, the storyline and characterization isn't exactly the strongest, but at the same time, it's Mortal Kombat. you're here to watch people beat each other up and like kill in brutal ways. Like, and you're also here for a really interesting like lore and world building. But overall, Mortal Kombat is a fun time. It's not a flawless victory, but it is a somewhat of a victory nonetheless. And overall, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I did enjoy myself watching it. So those are my thoughts on Mortal Kombat 2021. Let me know down in the comments, have you seen it? What did you think of it? Which character, like, you kind of interested going in? Like, for me, that was Sub-Zero. And did you prefer the 90s films to this? And are you a big fan of the games? I know I've played a bit of the games, like a bit of the games enough to be like familiar enough with kind of some of the characters and the overall style. Although I'm absolutely terrible at it, like. But let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.